The land is our foundation, and Land Synergy is here to solidify and restore. Join us as we connect the dots of land restoration, sustainable practices, and self-sufficiency. It's time to get rooted.
Welcome back to Land Synergy, guys. Today, we're just talking about a little insight slash rant, I guess you could say. It's more like an not emotional spiel, but more like what I feel and something we have to move forward as a unit so that we can continue to synergize the land. And that's essentially trash. What is your waste practice? So, a couple weeks ago, guys, we talked about essentially inputs and outputs and the compost system, and how right now most of the cardboard that we have, we actually um we we burn it, right? But we're looking for a better way to incorporate that into our waste practices. So what we mean is, instead of just burning it, how can we incorporate it back onto the land and just in a more recycled, healthy way, right? And I'm actually looking at the recycling center right now. I have, I just built a simple wooden outpost, about maybe 10 by 5, and we have about 4 or 5 cans and oil container for any, and gas and whatnot. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is good, but it's not efficient. And I go to the landfill because we stay out, on the countryside, and it's when I go and take the trash, it's a landfill. Like, they're just dumping the trash, like, and I've done it. Like, you pull up, you just dump your trash, and I'm like, what the heck? This is not sustainable, and I don't like it. I don't like it that I'm a part of it, and I feel like, I can't change or ask anything of anybody if I'm not doing it myself. And even if I am, I can't ask them to do it. Instead, I should just be, see what works and share that, not tell anybody. And so what I'm getting at here, what I'm intuitively feeling, is that we have to change this waste practice. We have to create inputs and outputs, or not rather output, but an input. So we got all this trash going, and when I go and dump it, it's like all kinds of stuff from plastic to wood, and I'm like, okay, how can I start right now with what's in front of us? And I feel like plastic is a huge one. Like, it's just been hitting me hard. Like, can we what can we do to fix the plastic? And when I say fix, like, what can we do to incorporate it back into the system somehow? And I really don't know. I don't know yet, guys, but I guess I just want to verbalize that here so that I can put that out into the ethosphere, so to speak, and see what comes together, because I know for a fact, you know, if we can minimize our plastic use and just find some way to either incorporate or break down efficiently, then that's going to help a lot. There's a company that comes to mind, and essentially it's plastic that's made from fish scales. Now, I don't know how sustainable that is. I wonder if that'd be a lot of fish. But what's cool about that, if that was something that would be, able to catch on, you could put that in your compost system. And that's what I would personally love to do, is actually incorporate that. Like, because it's so much plastic. And so think about that volume that you can incorporate back into your compost system. And really, guys, I'm just putting that out there so we can be aware as we move forward. We got to change the plastic use somehow. I mean, I've heard about paper, switching back to paper, but from an environmental standpoint, saying how it's more harmful because of how much paper is having to be produced. And so there is a solution, guys. I absolutely know that. And I don't know that right now. As I look at the recycling center that I built, the plastic, and getting rid of it. There's a need there. And I'm sure for other homesteaders, for other families that are building their homesteads, that it's the same concept. That we need to change that. But right now I don't know exactly. If you do know, if you have an idea, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free, the email's listed in the podcast. Feel free to reach out to me because I would love to hear it. But as we move forward, I'm verbalizing intuitively and feeling this, that we are going to create a solution to this issue because yes, from an environmental standpoint, it's not productive. From a personal standpoint, it's no use. We need things that we can incorporate back into and that we can build as an input, not creating all this output, right? And so I'm verbalizing that, I'm putting that out there. We're gonna figure this out, guys. We're gonna figure this out. I appreciate you tuning in for today's episode. I guess we can simply conclude today's episode with this. Plastic, a lot of it's ubiquitous, it's everywhere. We are going to continue to be open to a solution to minimizing and maybe even incorporating this into a more healthy viewpoint into our systems. We will, with patience, dedication, and awareness.